Halftime. Job not finished. Job not finished. We're still hungry. We're still hungry. We're going to eat good in Paris. We're going to eat good in Paris. Arsenal versus PSG at the Emirates. Arsenal 0. PSG 1. And all I'm going to say, Arsenal fans, what I'm going to go and say, as I said before, it's just halftime. Guys, in the words of a certain Erling Haaland today, guys, humble. I'm staying humble. Tranquilo, game's not done. Tie is not done. Tie's not done. It's only halftime. Still 90 minutes to play. What yeah, I know, y'all thought I'm going to go, no. Tranquilo. It's only halftime. It's only halftime. Obviously, we'll get onto the game. Don't worry. We'll get onto the game and all. I'll be a couple digs to the Arsenal fans in there. But for now, halftime, job not finished. I'm not trying to be clipped. All right? When we win next week, then voilà. Là, on pourra vraiment, we can be happy. But yeah. PSG 1, Arsenal 0. And first and foremost, the first thing I have to go and say with this game is, bro, I was stressed. I do not think I have been so stressed watching a game in a very, very, very long time. Bro, I was on stream. I was mute. I was a mime. I was just sitting there watching, staring. That's it. Just looking at the monitor. Wow, les gars. Too much. The stress. There was other games, Man City, so and so. I was still talking with chat. Now this game, guys, we were locked in on the game. Guys, I had to give all my key, all my energy, all my chakra, everything towards PSG, towards from here where I am in central London, sending it over the good vibes to Highbury and Islington, over to the Emirates. Guys, we were locked in today. We were locked in, and it worked. It paid off. And of course, I got to go and say I'm absolutely ecstatic. I'm really, really, really happy. It might not show right now because, the emotions are still coming down, but I'm delighted. I said my prediction going into this game, 2-2. I thought we're not going to be able to keep them from scoring. And I don't go and see us going, smacking them 3 or so on and so forth. I said 2-2. A draw away at the Emirates to come back to the Parc, even though, in fairness, the Parc recently hasn't been all that. But still, what I see, that's a good result. You go and take me 1-0, you win. And you got snatched out. Give me that. And with this result, give me that. Yes, sir. These people made the Emirates first and foremost. Let's go and address one big thing. The Emirates today, ladies and gentlemen, was a library. Was a library. Except for one section. And you already know which one section it was. Les ultra-parisiens, the PSG Ultras. True supporters. This fugazi stuff. Arsenal, y'all only sing when things are going your way. You guys, vous êtes fait climatiser. Vous êtes fait éteint. We're silenced. Silence. You didn't hear anything. You heard the PSG fans the entire time. That is what supporting a true club is. This, what you saw from PSG, that's a true club. Win, lose, whatever happens, tu vas te support until the end. Not like your fugazi fans. We too, all you delusional Arsenal fans. Only there when you guys win. You beat Madrid. Nah, you guys come out. All of a sudden, everyone in London is an Arsenal fan. Voilà, quand je perds, when you guys lost. I want that same energy. Keep that same energy. Go and say I'm an Arsenal fan tomorrow at work. Ask all this stuff. Maintain that same energy. Voilà, c'est ça. Parce que moi, win, lose, les gars, je suis là. I'm here. I'm in front of camera. But some of you Arsenal fans, I'll go hiding back to whatever, little small crevice you guys came from. Yeah, keep that same energy. Voilà, keep that same energy. But yeah, overall, to discuss more about the game, I think nobody can go, either set of fans can go and say it was dominant performance. I think today's game was genuinely 50-50. It was a 50-50 game. I think overall, I'd probably still say, yeah, PSG probably deserved to go and win. But if Arsenal had equalized, it's not unfair. I wouldn't go and say Arsenal deserved to win because I thought PSG actually defended well and had good opportunities, etc., so on and so forth. But if Arsenal equalized, it wouldn't have not been merited. But overall, great performance from PSG. And to show that this game was truly 50-50, because I had some people in my chat going and saying that, PSG played some, disgusting, park the bus, this, that, and the other. Whoa. First and foremost, let me address the hypocrisy of some of these Arsenal fans going and saying, PSG didn't even come and play this, that, and the other. First and foremost, when you all smacked Madrid 3-0 at home, and you guys are going to play them at the Bernabeu, what was I hearing all over social media? Every Arsenal fan, they were saying, I want to see the most disgusting terrorism ball. Park the bus, park the train, park the plane, park everyone's cars, park everything in that goal. You said you guys want, 15 center backs, 12 midfielders. You want a single ball going over halfway line. That's what you guys were saying. And you guys were perfectly fine with it. Now when PSG, at moments in the game, spells in the game where they sat back a bit, absorbed a bit of pressure, all of a sudden it's park the bus, terrorism, no. First of all, once again, y'all did the same thing during the same match. Those first 20, 15 minutes, PSG had all the ball. Y'all couldn't do anything. I'm going to go and take on a goal and analyze that goal and talk about it more in depth. But that goal after 26 passes, y'all could not get the ball off us for 26 passes. And we scored. Oh, we're playing some terrorism football too at times too. So don't be hypocrites. Do not be hypocrites. Stop with this nonsense. PSG played well. PSG, I think, outplayed Arsenal today. They were better than them. Not clear or anything. It was a step back. It was close. But PSG, I think, were the better team. If we look at the stats, guys, these were even. 48% possession for Arsenal, 52% possession for PSG, 1.65 XG for Arsenal, so they led there, 1.1 for PSG. PSG had 11 shots to Arsenal's 10, 5 shots on target for Arsenal, 4 shots on target for PSG. And in terms of big chances missed, 3 for Arsenal, 2 for PSG, big chances missed, 2 for PSG, 3 for Arsenal. So looking just based on those stats like that, you can't go and you tell me that, PSG were, one team dominated everything. It was close. It was a close game. It was a true 50-50 game. Both teams battled. Both teams were in it. You cannot go seriously with objectively go and tell me that one team completely and absolutely cleared the other team. Both sides, from PSG's end and from Arsenal's end. But going on to discuss the game more in depth. That first half, I will go and say, I think we have to go and specify that first half. Coming here and looking at the stats, that first half, it was that first 25 minutes, 22 and a half minutes or so, complete domination from PSG. If we go and you look at the momentum here, this is all the way up to the 20th minute. There's one little spell here, momentum for Arsenal. Other than that, PSG waves. Complete and utter dominance from PSG. And then obviously afterwards, Arsenal got into their groove. Arsenal got into the game. And Arsenal had their moments. And their biggest spell of possession was those last, 10 minutes or so going into halftime, where they really pressured us and really piled things on, where they got that chance where Saka crossed it to Martinelli, who wasn't able to get a touch on things. That's probably where Arsenal was probably the most dangerous. But to go and see even this first half, it was half and half. PSG dominated the first half of that first half. Arsenal dominated the second half of that first half. So again, as I was going and saying, nobody can go, no set of fans, nobody can go and say that, it was, complete clear domination from one team compared to the other. Now, one thing that I think a lot of people are going to go and talk about this in this game, and I saw some Arsenal talking about, was the officiating in this game. And honestly, I think for the most part, everybody can agree here, the officiating today was absolutely disgusting. The officiating today was ridiculously, redonkulously atrocious. A disaster class of a performance. I don't know what's the referee's name. 𝐿𝐶 𝐉𝐻𝐿𝐾𝐃. I think he was the coach, the official who reffed the final of the Champions League last year. Today, he was an off day. I don't know what happened. Maybe he woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Maybe, I know they gave him something funny in his, the food out of the hotel or something. But today, disaster class. I'm sorry, from both sides. Yes, were there some things, that yellow card for Leandro Trossard, did it warrant a yellow? Probably not. But likewise, also, I want the same Arsenal fans, because they're going and saying, oh yeah, look at this stuff that's happening, everything that's giving fouls, this and the other. Do we also want to talk about Jurrien Timber? How was Jurrien Timber still not on a yellow by the end of that first half? The person who knows, only God knows. Same for Mikel Merino. When Douzé gave him a little razzle dazzle, sent him left, right, and center, and so on and so forth. When he went clattered him, nothing. Not a yellow. Les gars, arrêtez. And when PSG Hakimi goes and barges, who was it? I think Declan, whoever it was, straight yellow. Right off the bat. Les gars, arrêtez. Especially for me though, Jurrien Timber fouled Kvaratskhelia 4 times in basically the exact same way. Nothing. Not a single yellow. Hakimi first foul, bing. Yellow, direct. égalité. Be consistent. Be consistent. If you're going to go and say that you didn't like the referee, say it on both sides. I'm going and saying yes. Some of the stuff that was given in favor of PSG, it was soft. Likewise, though, some of the stuff that was given for Arsenal was extremely soft. Extremely soft. Extremely soft, guys. Be serious. Come on. Getting on also to some of the penalty shouts. I know people from the Arsenal one were trying to talk about the Moreno one in the second half, guys. On n'a pas les yeux ou pas? Do we have eyes or something? Do we not have eyes? We both saw the replay. We saw the replay. João Neves gets to the ball first. Even in fairness, the Arsenal players aren't protesting after the initial bits. You don't go and see them, rushing the ref and anything. Clearly not a pen. João Neves gets to the ball first. Nothing there. The next time, I think people are going and saying Saka. I don't remember it. But if you want to go and talk about penalties, I think the most likely of the penalties that probably could have been given, I think, is that Kvara one in the first half. And guys, before people go and start filming me in the comments, guys, I said it on stream. I'm saying it here again for everybody to see. It's recorded. It's on YouTube for everybody to see. For me, that Kvara penalty, when he goes down, it is not a penalty. I repeat, it is not a penalty in my eyes. However, if of all the penalty shouts in that game, it is the most likely, because you do also have to say Jurrien Timber does not try to make an attempt for the ball. None whatsoever. His arm is there. He's not locked, so there's not like infinite resistance there, but he does hold him back a bit. And you can make the case that, well, he's not playing the ball. He's preventing the attacker from winning the ball. If it's given as a penalty, I would say it's extremely, extremely, extremely harsh, but it's not crazy. It's not. I've seen crazier penalties. That's what I'll go and say. It is absolutely not crazy. And then obviously there's some Delulu Arsenal fans going and saying, "Oh, the offside's not offside." Guys, at that point, like, listen, I've got my issues with the offside rule, so on and so forth. But guys, at some point, if we say offside is any part of the body that can score is ahead of the last defender, and that happens, and we see the replays, we see the automatic offside, it's offside. And I know this, as PSG fans, this team, I don't think there's a team in Europe that has been more badly outdone by ridiculous, egregious refereeing decisions by offside calls like that. So I understand someone your pain, but guys, voila, offside is offside. No issues there. Going on to more performances though, and going on into the second half, I thought in the second half, again, I would say on the balance of things were pretty even. PSG ended up with a higher XG of 0.85. So Arsenal were a lot less dominant, but this time around had more of the ball. And this is where I don't get where people are going and saying that, PSG parked the bus in there. I don't know how you park the bus with 45% possession. I don't know how you park the bus with having more possession over over the entire game. Voilà, je sais pas. Arsenal delusional syndrome. It must be an epidemic. It must be an epidemic out there. But yeah, shots were even. Arsenal had one more shot on target. PSG created more big chances. And this is where I want to go and say that initially you go and you tell me 1-0. Going into half, I would say the half was 8 out of 10. Now coming back with a bit of, an hour or so after the games, after the full-time whistle, I'm going and saying it's not an 8, but it's not quite a 7. I say 7.5. And strictly because of the two chances that you had in that second half, where you have goal if I go, Barcola going through, not quite a one-on-one, but a huge, glorious opportunity in the 84th minute to go with a brilliant sequence of play as well, to go and put PSG 2 up ahead and take a huge, huge step to qualifying PSG into the final, and he drags it wide. And it is starting to become, unfortunately, a reoccurring issue with Barcola. It happened again in the Nice game where his finishing is just no longer there. The finishing of the Barcola of the beginning of the season, where basically anything he touched turned into gold, fortunately, it's not there. He's shooting the ball not confidently. It's weak. It's not powerful. I'm seeing, unfortunately, shades of Barcola of last season where there's just no power behind the shots. They're faint. They're weak. And it's something he needs to focus on, because the performance that he put in today when he came on, although, yes, okay, he gets himself in the position to be able to score that goal. In this case, when I think the game back in Paris, I have to go and say Doué has to start over him. Barcola should not be starting in this game, based on what we've seen here. And so, yeah, I go and I say that once again, I don't want to go and, bring him down too much, because I think he's had a really good season. And unfortunately, because of, all the Doué hype, etc., so on and so forth, people are perhaps forgetting that a bit. But I also do have to be reasonable here and go and say that the Barcola needs to be doing much, much, much better with that chance that he goes and get. And then I think the XG on that, by the way, was something like 0.34, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 0.34. And then the other chance that you also get, Gonzalo Ramos, in fairness, I will go and say that chance sort of comes out of nothing almost. But again, he's sort of going in there in a one-on-one-esque with the goalkeeper, goes and shoots it. It's unfortunate a bit it comes off the bar, but again, 0.37 XG. And luckily in this game, it didn't really cause us too many issues. But I'm just saying, in that second leg, going back home, if we convert those two chances with a 3-0 win away from home, I'm not going to say, especially with PSG, nothing is a guarantee. We've had scares. We've had remontadas bigger than that in the past, even though, there's been some fugazi elements to that. But it would give you a huge step to go into that. With a 1-0 lead, obviously, it's still great. You went away from home. Everything is great. But if you'd been able to go and get that second goal, similar to that last goal that we scored against Aston Villa at the Park, would have been huge for the tie. Huge for the tie. Because then at the end there, you're stressing. Yes, you do you conjure up some spirits to go and keep you in the tie. You don't concede a goal and whatnot. But again, it would have been a lot easier for us. It would have made our job a lot easier if we'd gone at least scored one more goal and taken a 2-0 advantage back home to Paris. But yeah, beyond that, I thought in terms of the squad as a whole, I think everybody was fine today. It wasn't our best performance. There's not really one player that stands out individually. Obviously, Dembele scoring a wonderful goal in that 4th minute, as I mentioned, 26 passes. Had the ball for over a minute. Surely goes, passes. He's the one passes to 𝙬𝐿𝐾𝐃. 𝙬𝐿𝐾𝐃 goes, sizes up Jurien Timber, cuts it back to Dembele. The ball's bouncing, bobbling, this, then the other, hits it into the ground, hits the post, goes in. Doesn't matter how it goes in. PSG go and take the nil. And it's for once, it is good to find that we are able to score early on, because I feel like it's always against us. We always concede a goal early, even after we come back from halftime and we concede within the first 2 minutes of the restart of the half from and what I would say is a fugazi free kick we conceded. But again, we were able to get away with it. We were able to get away with it. Even though, yes, it was offside and offside is offside, I still think, guys, from set plays, we just look super vulnerable. I'm sorry to say we look vulnerable every time there's a set play for Arsenal. In fairness, Arsenal's a very good set play team, but every time they have a set play, guys, it feels like a penalty. Or it feels like a free kick right at the top of the box. Every single one, even if it's from deep, so on and so forth. I know, unfortunately, we're a small team and there's not much, and Luis Enrique is sort of saying that's how it is. And to a certain degree, I can get that. But please, for the love of God, please, between now and the return leg, please practice on some of the set plays. Please practice on some of the set plays. Please. Because if we go and we concede, I said it before, if we concede from a set play, guys, I'm losing it. And it happened in this game. Fortunately for us, it was offside. But if it happens in Paris, guys, I don't even know what I'm going to go to say and do. Going back onto the performances today, from the PSG perspective, I thought Dembele he got his goal today. Bar that, I think he's pretty quiet. Didn't really get the ball much. Didn't really go to the defenders. Although he did have that one sequence of play in the first half where he goes and sizes up. I think it was Saliba, goes, plays it, gets deflected, drops to 𝙀𝙖, and 𝙀𝙀 has an excellent shot and forces a great save out of David Raya here in the 31st minute. So Dembele was good there, but apart from that, didn't really do much. Got subbed in the 70th minute. Kvara, I thought today was good. I'm going hearing, Jurien Timber this, Jurien Timber that. For me today, 𝙬𝐿𝐾𝐃 had the better of him. But he goes, assists him for the goal, had him fouling, every 3 minutes, so etc., so on and so forth. How this geezer is not on a yellow card baffles me. Franchement, je sais pas. I don't know, as I said before. Only God knows. But yeah, I thought for Arsenal, again, you go and you look at overall, 6.5 was the average rating for Arsenal, or 7.3 for PSG. For Arsenal, it was Declan Rice. I thought that the best players for Arsenal are probably Declan Rice and 𝐿𝐿_𝐾𝐃. There were a couple of times where both of them took the ball, beat one man, and just kept going. And it was a train. 𝐿𝐿_𝐾𝐃 had that. Was it him for that great pass into Martinelli in that first half where he goes basically one-on-one with the keeper with Donnarumma, and Donnarumma gets an excellent save. There was that one in the first half that was really well done by him. Declan Rice had another opportunity where he just started bolting like a steam train, split the midfield, and had those chances. And something that we are really going to need to improve upon. And even in a case like that, if you foul him, get a niggle, get him to trip up, that's where I don't mind a tactical foul. I really do not mind a tactical foul there, just to slow the game down, because every single time they did it, it looked really dangerous against us. Yeah, bar that, everybody else was fine. Nobody had a terrible performance by any means, pretty mid performance. Saka was fine, didn't do too much. I thought, again, if anything, I'd probably go and say that Nuno probably not pocketed him or anything. Saka did have a couple moments where he beat him, but I think he probably got the slight edge over him, which is nice to see, especially seeing how, for me, on the Amazon Prime, with Wayne Rooney was going and saying how he's going to cause him problems here, this, that, and the other. You guys, if he can climb Mo Salah, which, okay, in fairness, Mo Salah going forward, and with the ball at his feet, he's not all that crazy. Saka's not all that much different. Even though I respect Saka. Talking about PSG performances, though, as I said previously, Nuno Mendes I thought was good. Fabian Ruiz, guys, I'm unfortunately, even though I have have had a Fabian Ruiz agenda today, Fabian Ruiz Peña was good. He was good. Not, world class or anything, but he was good. He did what he had to do. He won balls. He was, spraying passes, playing good balls, etc., so on and so forth, and has basically made himself now a mainstay in the starting 11 and has basically booted Warren Zaire-Emery to the bench. So very happy with this performance. Nuno Mendes did well to defend against Saka, but I will go and say, and I remember mentioning quite a few times on stream where he played those passes where he gets the ball here and just whips a pass here across like this, the face of goal, which the first thing once you're taught as a defender, if you're in a position like that, if you're going to play a ball like that, play down the line. Never played into the middle of the pitch like that, because there were a couple of times they were intercepted. We got extremely fortunate. There's a tackle or something we go through. But Nuno, s'il te plaît, par pitié, stop with those passes. Stop with those passes. Or unless there's a clear line of sight, just whipping in a ball to your midfielders, giving them an absolute hospital pass for them to gain control with Arsenal, with Rice, Marino, Odegaard coming and pressing them. No, s'il te plaît. Same thing with Patro. There's sometimes we're trying to be a bit too cute with it. I'm also thinking of the time where luckily he got fouled by Saka there. I do think it was a foul. I would say he's a bit fortunate there to get it to some extent. But in a case like that, buddy, just clear the ball out. Clear it for a throw in. Try to hit it off him, something like that. Patro had another one where he's trying to play it out. Sometimes just get the ball out. In fairness, I like Donnarumma today. Donnarumma today did try to distribute, etc., so on and so forth. But sometimes when the ball was coming to him, there's a bit of pressure. Go long. None of this, sometimes, yes, this cutesy-boosy building out of the back is great and all, but sometimes, les gars, sometimes pragmatism is key. Kick it long. If the ball's over there, they can't score. As simple as that. Speaking of Donnarumma, I think today, funnily enough, Vitinha got the man of the match. And I thought Vitinha today he was fine. He was a bit quiet at times. You didn't see him nearly as much. Did his thing, got his passes in, etc., so on and so forth. But I got a 6.7 here, was given the man of the match. Honestly, I'd probably say Dembele's probably more deserving of it than him. Doué, I thought had some really good touches, and Doué was doing just Doué type things, Neymar type things. Neymar touches in the semi-final like this. Les gars, when I go and say Doué has nothing to envy from Lamine Yamal, I mean it. I'm being dead serious, and I'm going and saying, je commence ce pressing. I'm starting this as well. Doué over Saka, and that's not a crazy take. Doué over Saka, and that is not a crazy take. Voilà. Kvaratskhelia as well today too was good. Creating danger. Probably, if you anything, of the front three, was probably the most dangerous of the front three. The defense was good. Hakimi had a few misplaced passes and did lose the ball a couple of times, or was caught out when going up. But overall, I think that he was once again pretty good. Marquinhos, I don't recall him having, a Marquinhos-esque moment today, so I thought he was pretty good. And for me, my man of the match, and even Vitinha, who got the UEFA man of the match, went and posted it on Instagram, Gigio Donnarumma. We're going full screen for this one. Gigio Donnarumma, I am sorry. Je suis désolé. Excusez-moi. Je suis désolé. I am sorry for having doubted your potential. I have accused you. I've levied strong. I've put some pressure on you. And at times, I think it was warranted. But today, and especially these last 3 Champions League knockout games, one of them or whatnot, je suis désolé là. Franchement, grande Gigio. First and foremost, let's save on Martinelli in the first half. I guess maybe you go and say it's a save you expect him to make, but again, great save. There's a save on Trossard. He goes in, cuts on his left, saves it. But the second one he has, guys, that is a ridiculous save. That is a ridiculous save. He just gets a fingertip to edge it past the post. Guys, when I saw him going through, I'm like, all right, 1-1. 1-1. But no, Gigio said, you shall not pass. Grande Gigio. And I'm not going to go and start going and saying, I'll give him the contract, this, that, and the other. Hey, if we make it to that final, I think for me, over the course of this season, especially in the Champions League, 𝐎𝐿 warrants going and being probably goalkeeper of the tournament, goalkeeper of the campaign. It wouldn't be crazy. But voila, there's still a second leg. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, for me, 𝐎𝐿 100% has to have been the man of the match. Ridiculous, made some ridiculous saves. If you go and I look here, goals prevented, 1.23 goals prevented. He had 1.23 goals against him, prevented all of them. Voila. I don't know what else to say. That's just crazy. Obviously, it's not, I'm not going saying this is not like the Alisson performance that he had against PSG and so on and so forth. He didn't have to make, save after save after save, but he was there when he needed to be. Still had this thing of, for corners and crosses, and that's just the thing that the team struggles with in general. But overall, on the balance of things, in terms of going and looking at, being there when you need you to be there. The thing for me with keepers is when your team is going through it in that one moment where, you probably should be conceding. If they're able to keep you in the game, that's where a keeper goes and distinguishes itself between being a good keeper and an excellent world-class keeper. And today you did that. Because if 𝐿𝑒 goes and scored that, completely changes the game. So for me, mucho grande 𝐎𝐿. Muchas gracias. Merci beaucoup. But yeah, once again with that, overall, just really pleased with the performance. As I said, though, job's not finished. We still got a second leg in Paris. Yeah, hopefully we can do the job. We rest well. We got a game against 𝙗𝑪 coming up in the week. Unfortunately, the invincibility is done. And so there's not really much to play for. The league's that won. I think Luis Enrique is going to rotate the squad heavily. Maybe we give 60 minutes for the main starters, etc., so on and so forth. But there's 8 games until the return leg, so we've got time to rest, time to focus on this next leg, and potentially for the first time, I think in the club's history, be able to qualify for the finals of the Champions League in the 𝐼𝐸 des Princes. And hopefully we can get it done. Well, guys, that's going to come. That's going to be the end of the video there. Thank you guys all for tuning in. It was a pleasure as always. Thank you to everybody that was on stream, and thank you to everybody that is still here watching right now. If you are here right now, comment 𝐿𝑒𝑣𝑜IL in the comment section so that I know you guys made it to the fun end of the video. And to all those people that were on the live stream, you guys know what to comment. But anyways, guys, make sure to go and if you guys enjoy these videos, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, stay posted for my community posts because I'm going to be posting there. I'm going to have some collaborations and some podcast episodes I'm going to be recording with people. So stay tuned for that. And make sure to watch the latest podcast episode with Robbie Liu as well as Juwan. But anyways, guys, with that, thank you guys very much. And remember, stay safe, stay kind, and stay blessed. Godspeed.